Hello, this is Nick995. This video I just want to talk about my top 16 games of all time. Now, this is mostly, this is my opinion. And this is based on games I've played over the years. There's a lot of franchises that I didn't play. Fallout, lots of other franchises. Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, many other franchises. There's Borderlands. So this is mostly based on what I've played. Now, like when I rank these games, I mostly rank them off of immersion, how fun they are to play, progression system, level design. That's very important for me. Mechanics to the game, like how quick versus how slow your character moves, how well does the game make things clear for you, like if you're a new player. So like I rank games based on that. But immersion and level design, those two especially. I really weigh those two heavily, like when I'm playing games. Anyways, my number one game of all time is Skyrim. Great game, very good game. Wow, this game is massive. If you guys go on my channel, there's Skyrim, a review up there. Huge game. You can be so many different things: a werewolf to a vampire to a wizard to a dragonborn, where you make the shouts. You can so many different spells you can have, many different enemies. You can fight dragons. It's endless. This game is endless. Number two is God of War 4 PS4. I have my review up on this already. Great story. Oh, the connection between Kratos and Atreus is amazing. You see Baldur. Right now they're in the Norse mythology. And it's a great reboot after the series. I like this better than the older hack and slash format of the game. Great game. I highly recommend this. Great level design. Customization options for your weapons. I get the Blade of Chaos and the axe, and Atreus gets his bow and arrow. Great game. And plus the like the realms, the attention to detail. Every realm feels different. That you travel to. I highly recommend God of War 4. Destroy All Humans 2. This is the old PS2 game. Came out 2006. I have to review this one day. But anyways, it's a game where you play as an alien. You can morph into people. You can shock people. You can summon meteorites. You can shoot ion bombs. You can go into your saucer, abduct people, tear down buildings, and like there's different regions. You go to America, Tokyo. No, how was it again? America. What was the regions again? I can't remember. But anyways, America, England, Japan, Russia, and you go to the moon. It's a very fun game. Really good game. Witcher 3. I have to do a review for this. Great game. It reminds you a lot of Skyrim. Very similar to Skyrim. A lot, like this is very immersive. Lots of the NPCs feel so real. The AI feels so real. But the swordplay is fun. There's customization, many different uniforms, many different enemy designs. Great game. Next game, Red Dead Redemption 2. Arguably the most immersive game I've ever played. If this had better mechanics, like this honestly would be better than God of War. I would have this at number 2, but the mechanics in the game kind of hold it back, and there's certain level design features that hold it back. But great game. I have my review up for it. Lots of different weapons, great story, immersion, constant. Like you're always you always want to see more in this game. And most of these games, you always want to see more and more. You can't wait to play more. So many different animals in the game and regions you can go to. Great game. God of War 3. I have to do a review for this. Came out way back in 2010. One of the most violent games. This one was before the reboot of this. A really good game. Immersive. This is based on Kratos's quest for vengeance. He, this is the most powerful version of Kratos in this game. So you're fighting Greek gods. You're fighting, different, so many different creatures from the Greek mythology. Lots of different areas you go to. And the gameplay is very smooth in this game. A very good hack and slash game. My favorite hack and slash of all time. Next game got Batman Arkham City. 2011 this game out, yeah. A really good game, immersive. This is probably my favorite superhero game of all time. You play as Batman in this Arkham City, like this small version of Gotham. There's Joker. There's so many different villains. You meet Bane. You meet Hugo Strange, Ra's al Ghul, Mr. Freeze. This is my favorite of the Arkham series too. Fun level design, exploration. Very good game. Battlefield Bad Company 1. My favorite shooter of all time. Most of these games I have to do separate, reviews on. But this game, the single player was entertaining, even though it kind of dragged on. But the multiplayer is amazing. One of the best multiplayers. You can be American, Russian, and there's this one Arabic army, a Middle Eastern army that you play as. And you go to different regions. I believe there's about 11 different maps, and there's team deathmatch. There's capture the flag conquest. There's rush, which basically you're blowing up enemy. Like these enemy gold mines or whatever. But it's a very fun game. There's tanks, helicopters, Humvees. Each faction, I can even hear them talking their own language every time. I believe it's 20 and 20. No, 16 versus 16 max, because this is 2008, so older, but very fun game, and the maps are huge. They're huge. Midnight Club 2. I love this game. It's probably one of the hardest games you'll ever play. Very racing, lots of racing. You go from LA to Paris to Tokyo. Now these cities, they all feel very, very different. Just as I'd imagine, I would imagine like in real life, because what am I saying? Midnight Club 2. This is so hard. Like every race has you like on the edge of your seat. And there's so many different cars. There's about 35 different cars in this game. There's an arcade mode where you can capture the flag. There's power-ups you can have. Each race feels so unique. And once you get to Paris, that's when it gets very hard. You really have to think out. I use strategy. You can even play as cops as well. Great game. Infamous 2, another great superhero game. It's based on what do you call it again? New Marais, which is basically New Orleans kind of. Great superhero game. You have superpower. You have electric powers. So you can shock your enemy. You absorb electricity from all sorts of electric sources. You can summon lightning. You fight many different enemies. Lots of side missions. Lots of main missions. But the thing about it is that the side missions are very different. They're not repetitive. Great game. A very underrated PlayStation exclusive. King Kong, 2005. I love this game, man. Immersive, very immersive, scary too, very scary. You're playing like you're going into the jungle. You're fighting these huge dinosaurs. You're fighting these dinosaur type birds. You know, like where they're huge. You can play as the main character, Jack, or King Kong, and King Kong. Like you play as both of them. So when you're King Kong, you can do so much more. But like when you're Jack, the thing about it is that like when you're Jack, it's scary because your resources are limited. There's a limited ammo. There's not lots. The game doesn't give you much to work with. You can use sticks to jab your enemy with. A really fun game. I have to review this. Hopefully I can get footage for it. Hopefully, I'm hoping. SOCOM 2. This game came out back in 2003. I never got a chance to play multiplayer in this game. Like I only played the single player. And on a single player, like it's very fun, very very fun. You play as like you're in a squad of 4, and you're doing these missions where there's many different variety of missions. Well, there's 12 different missions. There's 12 main story missions where there's where you have to gather intel. You have to kill this main target, or rescue a hostage, and like you go to Albania, Algeria, Brazil, and Russia. Like you're fighting terrorists and smugglers and drug dealers. A really good game. The reason why I didn't play multiplayer is because back in the days I didn't really rely much on internet, and the PlayStation 2 wasn't really like unless if you had the Ethernet cord, you couldn't play online like in this game. But I heard the online like is very good. Maybe one day like I'll play it. I wish they would remaster it for PS4 so I could play this online. This game, I don't have a physical copy of it. It's a digital copy. This game, Resident Evil 2. Oh, I love this game. I love it. You basically play, like it's a horror game. Like it's like it's very horror oriented. Like we're fighting zombies. You have Mr. X chasing you. There's always something. Like that you have to look back on. Like you're always trying to watch your back. There could be like a zombie like around the corner, and there's lots of dark areas. You gotta really take advantage of your resources, like really, because the inventory space is very limited, very very limited, and you have to really use your resources wisely. And there's bosses as well. Great game, great horror game. Metal Gear Solid. Right now I'm on 14. This is number 14. 5, The Phantom Pain. This was a tricky game because there were certain parts of this game that I didn't like. Like the repetitive side missions. The story had fragments to it. But this is probably the reason why it's on my list. This is probably the best game, mechanic-wise, gameplay. Like from a gameplay perspective, it's very good. The running feels so good. The gunplay feels so good. Every time you tackle down, like an enemy, it feels so real. And they implement it. It's most Metal Gear is a stealth franchise, like for its history. But this implements stealth and open world, together. So as the first time, like when Konami does open world, Konami and Hideo Kojima, which is the maker like of this game. But I'm gonna do my review on this pretty soon. A good game. Dead Space 2, another great horror game. A lot of these games you realize I'll have 2. Like for example, Infamous 2, Midnight Club 2, SOCOM 2, Resident Evil 2, Dead Space 2, Destroy All Humans 2. A lot of them have the sequel, Red Dead 2. Or Batman Arkham City, that's the second Batman Arkham game. Weird. I love this game. Now this, another horror game, immersive, very immersive. Same thing Resident Evil. You have to maintain your resources. You fight these nasty necromorph characters. Nasty. It's fucking nasty. Like the necromorphs are like dead humans, reanimated, but even nastier than zombies. They're like corpse, like on the wrong places. It's very nasty. But you know, you're gathering resources. But unlike Resident Evil 2, this game you can buy weapons. You can actually buy weapons. Whereas Resident Evil 2, you have to explore to get those weapons. But this game, you can buy weapons. Ammo comes more frequently. But the thing, this is that it's more action oriented than Resident Evil 2. But this one, from Resident Evil 2, is more immersive. What a great game. Visceral went out of business, I believe back in 2013. Stupid EA. Stupid. They need to remake this game. They've been wasting away their franchise for the last 8 years. EA. Another Konami game. These two, they're the same franchise, but it's like a spin-off to this. And not exactly this game, but to the franchise of Metal Gear Solid. So Metal Gear Rising. This is a weird game, but I love this game. I got it for $5. You play as Raiden. It's kind of like a cyborg samurai. Like, it's kind of like Robocop. If you're a Robocop, but you're a samurai. And he moves at super speed. He can see time move slowly. You know, he has a super fast reaction time like the Flash. And then he has this sword that can basically cut through anything. You know, it'll break down the molecular structure, like, you know, of everything. And there's many different themes. There's political corruption. There's AI control versus human control. A very good game. Action packed, very action packed. And there's no game where I played that had better soundtracks than this. Great game soundtrack wise. If you guys ever played this game, the soundtrack is amazing. The boss is amazing. It keeps me like on the edge of my seat. Like every time, like I just wanna, you know, like I wish I were, like, you know, like I couldn't, you know, I imagine them trying to make this game, the amount of action in the game. Great game. So let's go over this one more time. 1 is Skyrim, 2 is God of War 4, 3 is Destroy All Humans 2, 4 is Witcher 3, 5 is Red Dead 2, 6 is God of War 3, 7 is Batman Arkham City, 8 is Bad Company 2, 9 is Midnight Club 2, 10 is Infamous 2, 11 is King Kong, 12 is SOCOM 2, 13 Resident Evil 2, Metal Gear Solid 5, Dead Space 2, and Metal Gear Rising. Metal Gear Rising is 16. All great games. I highly recommend these games. My next video, I'm gonna hopefully review this one. I have to, but I've been having difficulties. The video editing is kind of difficult. I'm not really used to it, but I'm looking up tutorials. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share the video. Please share the video. This is almost a 20-minute video, and YouTube is very stingy with the views. But please share if you can. Thank you.